Hey guys, and welcome back to another Textile Express tutorial. This time we are showing you how to make a super-sized beach bag for all of those things you've got to take down to the beach. For this project, you will need 75 centimetres of 140 centimetre wide fabric for the face fabric, and the same for the lining fabric. You will need 3.2 metres of webbing for the handle, 1.6 for each side, 3 metres of a heavy iron-on interfacing, your iron, a tape measure, pins, scissors and a chalk, which I forgot to put in this clip. Step 1. You want to fold your face fabric in half, selvage to selvage. You are then going to take your measure and measure in 20 centimetres from each corner, as shown, and 20 centimetres up, so you make a square in the corner of your fabric. You then repeat this on the other side. You are then going to cut these corners out, and don't forget the fabric is still on the fold at this point, so you're cutting through both layers of fabric. Again, repeat this process on the other side of your fabric. Voila, you have the corners cut out. I'm also going to trim off the selvage at the top of this fabric just so I'm working with the very best, and I repeat the exact same steps on the lining fabric. Next, I am going to use the pieces I have cut out as a template on my interfacing. So I'm going to be cutting 4 pieces of interfacing in this sort of large T shape. I will then be ironing these onto the reverse of my fabric. The ironing process is a bit boring and does take some time, but we're going to iron all 4 of the interfaced pieces to the 4 sides of the bag. So we open it up, like you can see I've done here, and iron the T shapes onto the reverse of the fabric. This does take a bit of time, but it has to be done, and we want a nice secure fix. Once the interfacing is attached, fold the right sides together with the fabric like I have here, and you're going to sew down both of the long sides as indicated. On all of these steps, it definitely can help to pin them as well. I am not setting a very good example, not pinning my pieces, but that's just the kind of sewer I am, sorry. So make sure to start the sewing process with the lining of the bag. Here I am sewing down the long side as indicated in the last clip. I've allowed about a 2 centimetre seam allowance on this, which gives a nice strong structure to the bag. Next step is how we get the large gusset in the bottom of the bag. So you pop your fingers in the corner and pull them out so you've got a nice flat edge like this. We are then going to sew all the way along this line here. So now I'm sewing along that straight line we've just created with the corner of the bag. Again, no pins, that is very naughty, I'm sorry. And I really should have pressed that seam, but it is all coming together, I promise. And we repeat this exact same step with the other corner of the lining of the bag. Next, we are going to work on the face fabric of the bag. The first step to do before we do the sewing of the sides is to put the handles on. So I've cut the 3 meters 20 of webbing in half, so we've got 1.60 meters for each side. I'm lining the bottom of the handle up with the bottom corner here, and I'm measuring 2 centimeters in. That's where I'm going to then pin the bottom of the strap, and don't forget to fold over the raw edge so it's nice and neat. I'm then going to measure 10 centimeters down from the top of the bag and pop a pin in here. This is where I'm going to sew up to, so above this mark the handle will be loose on the bag. This enables me to be able to turn the bag through easily. Now I'm sewing on to secure these handles between the 2 marks where I've pinned. I go straight across the top to make a big sort of box with my stitching. This will just help to extra secure the strap down. I've of course repeated this step on both sides of the bag so that I've now got 2 handles. I'm then going to carry on and turn the bag inside out so right sides are together. And then we're on to the same step as we did before with the lining. We're going to sew those long sides together on both sides as indicated before. Next, we've got to repeat that same step on the corners to create the gusset of the bag. So in at the corners and pull them flat and then sew along that nice flat edge we've got there. So. This step is always an awkward one, so we've made sure we've tucked the handles into the bag, and then we're going to grab the lining and put it inside the bag. So notice the front fabric of the bag is turned inside out. The lining of the bag is the correct way round, so it'll be the right sides of each piece together. I'm using the side seams to sort of notch them together and continue to pin all the way round so that I can then sew these 2 pieces together. The key here is to remember to leave a section open so that you're able to turn the bag inside out. When I say inside out, I guess I mean the right way round. So here I am pulling the bag through that opening I've left so that the pieces are now the correct way out. It's always a bit of an awkward part to the job, but once you see it coming together, you can get more of an idea of what the bag's starting to look like, and it's actually quite exciting. Look at that concentration face. So after a bit of manipulation, you can even out all of the edges and make them all nice and flat. This is now the time that you're going to enclose that opening you've left with a bit of top stitching along the top. I keep this as close to the edge as possible to give a really neat finish. There you have it, an absolute jumbo bag for the beach, which you can fit all of the beach toys, all of the towels, and all of the picnic in. Hope you enjoyed and I hope you get a chance to make it. Don't forget to tag us if you do.